Hey, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hope you all doing well. Hope you all do well. Sorry for the lack of streams lately. It's been a little crazy over here lately, so I've been quite busy. My apologies for that. But we are back at it today, which I'm glad to be back. Okay, so let me just grab the stuff here real quick. So for those of you who don't know, a couple months ago my mic basically just bit the dust. And I was trying to get a new one, and Endorfy was kind enough to send over not only their Solemn Voice S, which is the mic I've been using ever since then. It's actually a really nice mic because it's usable on like literally everything. So I use it for recording teardown videos, I use it on my PC, I use it on pretty much everything. So it's a really nice, super versatile mic with a good sound to it. So I really appreciated them sending this over because this saved me a lot of trouble. But they were also kind enough to send over the LIV Plus as well as their, where is this here? The Kadora Speed L pads they make as well. Now, to be completely transparent, I was supposed to review these like months ago and I just didn't have time and I just didn't put the time into it. So I'm sorry, Endorfy, I sincerely apologize for that. But I figured today would be a good as time as any to go through a quick unboxing and first impressions and actually do some testing on both the mouse pad and the mouse and then do some final thoughts. So today's going to be like a pseudo melon review stream, I guess you could say. We're just going to compact everything into one little stream here. First off, we'll go ahead and talk about the mouse and then we'll talk about the mouse pad after. Now, admittedly, this isn't something I would normally cover on the channel because this is just kind of one of those like generic OEM mice that gets rebranded with other companies' branding. Which again, I mean that by no offense, but just a lot of brands do kind of do this thing. So this isn't something I would normally cover on the channel, to be fair, but it is something I still want to look at because there are some cool aspects to this mouse I do actually quite like. Morning, Meow, how are you doing today? Anyways, okay, so in terms of packaging, pretty standard packaging here. Pretty normal stuff here. Has some information on the side of here. We have the specs on the back. Now, the cool thing I really like about this mouse is it has a charging dock, which the only brand I've actually seen implement a like good charging dock, quote unquote, has been Zowie so far. So I'm very interested to see how Endorfy's take on it is, but we'll talk about that in a moment. It includes the mouse itself. It includes a charging dock, a USB A-to-C cable, a wireless dongle, and an extra set of PTFE feet, safety instructions, and an Endorfy sticker on the inside, which is nice to see. And on the side of the box, it also does list the specs for the unit. So the unit does have a bunch of RGB as expected. It is a little heavy. It is running in at 69 grams, so you're kind of in that Vaxi-esque territory. But again, for this being a non-solid mouse, it is definitely on the higher side, so maybe there are some ways they can improve the weight with like a different material or something like that, but we'll talk about that later. It is using a Pixar 3395. I'm using 26,000 DPI. It is also using KLGM 8.0 mechanicals, which is a switch I have not seen in a very long time. These were like the go-to switches before the Wano Blue Shell Pink Dots took over on everything. So this will be interesting to see how these are holding up. Has paracord cable, mouse feet, and a 2-year warranty through Endorfy. Hold on one second. I'm just going to adjust my mic real quick. Give me a minute. What mouse do I main right now? To be completely honest with you, I haven't mained a mouse in almost 2 years. There has not been a mouse I've actually used every single day for over 2 years aside from my general work and office use mouse, which is the Keychron M2. But in terms of like a gaming mouse, I've switched gaming mice every like 3 to 4 weeks for the past 2 years. I haven't used anything consistently, unfortunately. Okay, so in terms of unboxing here, let's go ahead and pull this open here. So inside we have, so here is the mouse itself. So again, pretty standard what we saw, what we kind of expected from the outside. It does unfortunately have non-solid sides, which may be a bit of an issue, but we'll see how it feels over testing. And then on the bottom here we have these PTFE, and then on the bottom we have these oh, sorry, I gotta change my mic's position again. One second. Okay, let's see if that works a little better. On the bottom here, it does have these PTFE feet here, but they do have a sticker on them, so make sure you remove those. I believe these are kind of similar to the ones we saw included with Keychron's older mice. They're just dyed PTFE skates, so make sure you take off this film before you use the mouse. I'll do that right now. What is the one mouse for gaming that stood out to you then? It really OP1AK is a notable one. Wise Owl OGM Pro V2 is another notable one. There's been a lot of, like, that's the thing, there's been a lot of really good mice lately. There haven't been a lot of bad releases per se. That's the thing, you're kind of spoiled for choice nowadays because there's a lot of good products out there. Okay, so with those stickers off, we can see that these are, yeah, these are just standard dyed PTFE skates, the kind you would expect to find. So pretty standard there on the bottom like that. Interestingly enough, there's also this kind of film on the bottom here, which I wasn't expecting. So it's not like completely hollow like the sides of the mouse are, which is kind of unique, but we'll, I wonder why they did that. Probably for dust, that's my assumption, but we'll figure that out more later. So we'll put that off to the side. And then we also have the charging dongle here. And now the charging dongle does come with the USB-A dongle inside it by default here, which kind of goes in this front port, which is nice to see. And then on the bottom, there is a pairing button here and a pretty large rubber foot that does have a, oh, actually, sorry, no, it doesn't have a D. Oh, that's why. I was wondering why. I was gonna say, this has a protective sticker on it as well, doesn't it? Is this a sticker? It is a sticker. Aha. More stickers, chat. I almost didn't notice that. I was wondering, it's like, it seems a little slipperier than I expected. So it does have that kind of like rubber-esque foot on it, which is actually, wow, that's, oh wow, that's like really grippy. Oh, that's like a sticker. Oh my god. Okay, that's really grippy. Okay, that is actually nice to see. A lot of dongles don't like actually like hold in place that well, so having like a sticky base is actually a welcome surprise. That's actually a good idea. I'm surprised more brands haven't gone for the sticky base route, but that's actually really nice. Okay, I actually don't mind that. That's actually pretty cool. And then on the back, we also have a USB-C port, but you'll notice that it has the prong design, and it has the same one on the front of the mouse, kind of similar to the Vaxi cables, which is actually something I did not expect to find on kind of like a more OEM mice, because they generally just have like standard cables, but these prongs on the side make it so it's harder for the cable to come out of the mouse during use, which is actually a really nice attention to detail. But yeah, but that's that, and that is the dongle there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this dongle does work on the bottom here as a little stand, and it just kind of sits, let me move the camera, it just kind of magnetically sits onto that. So unlike the not the Vaxi mice, the Zowie mice that had the contacts to the charger, oh, this is what I'm looking for. So unlike the Zowie mice that had the prongs for the charger towards the front of the mouse, or actually towards the back, but it still is actually a pretty nifty thing. It's actually quite nice, and of course it does also have RGB on it as well. But honestly, this is a really nice feature. I know this is like a feature a lot of other mice have, but this is the first time I've personally used it, so I'm actually kind of happy to see this. Anyways, okay, so aside from that and the dongle there, we'll take this off, and in the bottom here we have a user manual, I'm assuming here. Yeah, so we have a multi-language user manual as expected that gives you a quick breakdown of the mouse. So that's nice to see included. And then we also have a small little accessory package. I bought the HDR because of you, my favorite mouse so far. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I like G-Wolf's mice. They've just always been too small for me, with the exception of the newer ones, but I haven't covered them yet. Here we have a standard USB-A to C cable with, again, that prong. Let me zoom in a little more here. With that prong design I mentioned earlier. So again, this just makes it so if you're using the mouse via wired, it's harder for the cable to come out, which again is a really nice attention to detail we don't see on a lot of mice nowadays. I think the only companies I've seen do this, aside from Endorfy, is who else did this? Logitech and Vaxi, I think, are the only other ones who've done this. So this is kind of a cool thing to see in there. And we also have an extra set of, I'm assuming these are PTFE skates. Yeah, so this is that Endorfy sticker I mentioned earlier, and then there's also an extra set of full-size PTFE skates, which is nice to see. So that's pretty much everything for what's included with the mouse here. Put all this back for now. Honestly, a pretty good unboxing experience, all things considered. Honestly, when it comes to like OEM branded mice, my expectations are always a little low, because like, let's be honest, they don't have the greatest track record. But this one's actually pretty good. I'm actually quite happy with this so far. Well, of course, we'll have to see how the mouse performs, but is this a removable wrapper? I'm assuming it is. No, it is not. Okay, that's fine. We'll put that off to the side. Okay, let me grab my scale. 1 second. Okay, so the weight spec we have from Endorfy is that this thing is 69 grams, if I'm not mistaken. Around 69 grams. So the mouse with the stock skates weighs... I probably should turn this on first, huh? That would probably be a good idea. So this weighs... Okay, so 68.8 grams with the stock skate, so it's actually under the advertised weight spec, which is a surprise. Honestly, most brands nowadays have their mice over the advertised weight spec. This is actually a nice surprise to see. I honestly did not expect their weight spec to be accurate. I was expecting this thing to be like 71. But okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and talk about the mouse itself. So overall feel of the mouse is pretty good in all honesty. There's no, despite it being like, the thing is that the shell is kind of a dual layered shell. As you can see, there's like an extra structural layer underneath it. So it's not as thin as other like solid open shell mice are. So it actually feels quite good. There is a little bit of flexing in some areas. Like, I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a little bit of a flex here. But in all the areas you'll be like putting pressure on the mouse during use, it feels fine. Base feels decently rigid as well, which is good to see. Yeah, no super concerning aspects to build quality, which is nice. In terms of the connectivity, it does have tri-connectivity, so Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz, and wireless as expected for most mice nowadays. The stock skates are probably going to be okay. To be honest with you, I did not like these stock skates because I'm pretty sure these are the exact same ones that were on the Keychron M3 series mice. I do not like them. I may end up swapping these off for other aftermarkets, but due to the skate size, as you can see here, they're kind of a wonky size, as there's this really thin top skate and this wider rear skate here. If my camera would focus, that'd be awesome. So aftermarket compatibility will be a little iffy on this mouse. I would have liked to see this skate size be matched up at the top here, because that would have made the unit feel a little more balanced. And again, these are very odd sizes for skates, so maybe some changes to the skates in the future would make this mouse a little better. But I mean, I'll probably slap on some aftermarket dots or something. I wonder how deep this is compared to this, because I'm wondering if maybe you take out the skates, maybe you can put skates in these kind of empty divots here and here, because my initial concern is that when skates are too thin like this, sometimes if you use aftermarket skates, because they're positioned here, not the widest point, it can cause wobble. So I'm hoping that maybe I can put skates on this kind of like this little ass side here and here. I'll test and see if I can actually do that. In terms of the buttons, it's using the Kale 8.0, the GM, the ones that were really popular before the Wanos came into play. I'll give you a quick sound test of those. Honestly, the buttons actually do feel pretty good. They're a little stiffer than your average Wano implementation, but they do have that mechanical click to them, which I actually do quite like. So the buttons actually do feel pretty good. Now, I will say, unfortunately, the mouse does not have a coating applied to it. It's just raw ABS plastic, like we've seen on the Keychron mice. So the main clicks are a little, they're definitely not the grippiest, which is maybe a little bit of an issue area down the road when it comes to usability, because again, I have very sweaty hands, so I think I may have some problems with actually keeping my fingers on the clicks here. There is like an ever so slight indentation in them to kind of guide your fingers to the middle, but it's very slight. Again, maybe including grips would have been nice, or maybe just having an actual coating applied to the shell. Again, I think the sides will be okay, because I can kind of press my fingers into the sides of the shell to get a little bit of gripability, but I can't do that here. But again, I'm glad that they didn't do the thing where they have this texture. Sorry, one second. I'm glad they didn't do the common issue that a lot of brands do, where they have this texturing on the main click, so that is a nice attention to detail there. But we'll have to see how it fares over testing. Maybe I'll throw some grip tape on it if I have to. In terms of the side buttons here, so side buttons are just kind of a glossy plastic, uncoated again as expected. I'll give you a sound test of how they sound. Now, unfortunately, they're not specifying what clicks these are. They do feel a little stiffer, again, and they have that same mechanical feel as the main click, so I'm actually going to assume they're also a Kale switch here. I'd be surprised if they were Wano, because it has that kind of mechanical clanginess to it that you would expect from a mechanical switch. But regardless, the buttons actually do feel a little, they actually feel pretty good. I do think like okay, I should say this. The buttons themselves feel fine in terms of their click. I dislike they don't have a coating and they are way too small. I do think they should be a lot bigger. Like if the buttons came out to maybe more around like here and here, if they were a little bigger on the side, that'd be much better. And their positioning is a little awkward too, because I can technically just like kind of hit it with my thumb. Again, I have a really big thumb, so that's more of a me problem, but it is what it is. But yeah, side buttons are okay. The switches themselves are good, but again, just like the main clicks, just lack of coating just kind of ruins their feeling. The scroll wheel is okay. Oh, my camera just freaked the hell out. Sorry. The scroll wheel is okay. This feels like a 9mm encoder. I'm going to assume it's probably an F switch. It kind of has that smooth scroll with those like very slightly pronounced scroll points. So it's good for scrolling, but it's easy to over scroll. And if you're trying to scroll wheel click, it's very like loose and hard to actually click the wheel down without scrolling. So again, a more attentioned encoder would be a nice attention to detail here. The scroll wheel click feels actually not bad. This is, judging on the sound, not sure if that picked up for you guys. This actually sounds, yeah, it's using the same switch as the side buttons. I don't know why my camera's freaking out. Sorry, guys. Can my camera stop like freaking out? Okay, that's better. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's using the same switch they're using for the side buttons here, because it has a more mechanical twang to it, which is a nice thing to see. So that's actually not bad there, and that's actually not bad in that case. And then there is a top DPI button, which again, I'm not the biggest fan of these buttons. I think they're kind of a waste of space, but I mean, it is what it is. If you want to utilize it, it is there as well. Now, also, I wanted to know, in terms of sensor position, as you might have noticed, the sensor sits a little lower in the shell than you would expect. So it's like, the sensor is kind of balanced at the midline of the mouse, but it's a little lower, as you can see. So it's a little like slightly, I would say like a 45% like lower in the shell. If this is 100%, it's at like the 45% mark instead of like the 50% or 55% like we commonly see. And the side buttons are also like very forward of the mouse's sensor position, which is also very odd. So when I grip this mouse, you can see how the sensor lays very, very deep in the shell for me. So this mouse is definitely going to feel more on the controlled side. I think if the sensor was a little more up, like where it naturally would be in the shell, I think it would feel a little better, because if it was like kind of roughly at the position of where the side button is, I think it would feel better roughly. But again, that's very much like a nitpick just because I have such big hands. For normal hands, we're going to grip the mouse like this, it'll be completely fine. But for my hand size, it's a bit comical, the placement, but that's a pretty minimal issue. Charges like the Viper Ultimate? Yeah, it does. How much stuff inside it? Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's so heavy. That's like my one confusing aspect of this mouse. It's very heavy, even though it's an open shell design. Honestly, I feel like this is... okay, I will admit, Endorfy is not the first company to fall for this pitfall, but like, I find a lot of companies, when they go to make ultralight mice, they feel this weird need to make their mouse have open holes, which I don't understand, because doing that causes a lot of problems in the long run in terms of like durability and dust getting into the switches and stuff. Like, I feel like this mouse just would have been better if they just made it solid and just had a real coating on it instead of because like, if this mouse had a thicker shell and didn't need all this extra structural components on the inside, I think it would have felt a lot better. But again, that just, everyone now wants to make mice with holes in them for some reason. I don't know why, it's the going trend lately. Okay, so let me plug this in, see what we got here. Okay, so there is an RGB node actually there's 3 RGB nodes on this mouse. So there's one under the scroll wheel, there's one at the back under the logo, and then there's also one at the bottom here, kind of like what we saw in the original Keychron M3. So a lot of RGB on this, and on the on the dock. Oh goodness. Yeah, this is like really sticky. I'm like pulling my desk up with this. And on the dongle, it has like a kind of a RGB effect around it. Very like Razer-esque. That's what I think reminds me. The RGB implementation is very Razer-esque. But again, the ability just to kind of throw it on this and charge it is like a very underrated feature. And it does show you the charging type. It does show you the charging status up at the top here, which is actually a really nice attention to detail. So honestly, like, again, it's definitely more of a consumer grade implementation when it comes to the dongle, but I actually do like this. And again, this is probably the best like anchoring dongle I've used to date. A lot of the other dongles I've seen with this, specifically Zowie's was like really slippery on the bottom because the rubber foot wasn't big enough, but this is like almost too sticky, but I would actually rather have it be too sticky rather than not sticky enough. So I'm actually kind of happy to see this, but anyways, that's that. So that's pretty much everything for the mouse. Honestly, it's not bad in all honesty. I do have like some, I do obviously have like some critiques of aspects of the mouse, but like in all honesty, it's actually not bad. I guess the big iffy with the big kicker with this one is like this is going to be the exact same thing you're going to find from like Attack Shark or Ajaz or like any of those other cheap Chinese clones who have just cloned this shape a million times. So like it's hard to justify paying the Endorfy premium price for the same mouse you can get from another brand for like dirt cheap. So it's kind of one of those situations where like I like what they've done in some aspects of this mouse. Sure, it needs work, but like again, it's going to come down to a price thing or availability thing where like, I mean, I guess with tariffs now, it's going to be a bit of a more even playing ground, but still, it's kind of one of those things where like, yeah, it's a cool mouse. It does have some cool aspects to it, but like, again, you can get the same thing for cheaper from other brands. But again, it really depends on what the shape is made of, what the OEM is, if it's been cloned or not. There's a lot of factors to that. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. So let me put this all off to the side and we'll grab the mouse pad next. Okay, so here is the Kadura Speed L. Now, funnily enough, this is actually the first time I've ever used a Kadura pad. I have never tried one until now, which is surprising considering this is kind of seems up my alley in terms of what I want from a mouse pad. But yeah, I still haven't used one to date, so I'm very excited to try this. Now, the sizing for this one is a 400 by 450, and it is 3 millimeters thick, and it is, of course, using Kadura material. It's basically, it's kind of, pros here are really good durability. It is a waterproof, it's a very durable surface. It's splash proof and waterproof. It has a non-slip rubber base, which we'll see about that. It has a speed type surface that is easily washable, and then of course there are the dimensions there. Now that's one big advantage to Kadura I never really looked into too much, is this material is super easy to wash. I remember Endorfy posted something on their socials of them like smearing Nutella all over this pad and then washing it underwater, and it was completely fine. So that is something cool in terms of like long-term durability, because over time mouse pads will build up dirt, dust, and debris and just stuff from your arm, and they'll kind of get grimy over time. So the ability to kind of wash the pad without having any impacts on its performance is admittedly something very nice, but again, Kadura is a rather niche material because of how it performs, so we'll see if it's worth it in the long run. So in terms of unboxing, we have the pad itself, and oh goodness gracious, there is a warning label, or like a safety label here. It got kind of messed up, but we'll ignore that for now. Who reads manuals? Okay, so the pad has a little bit of a plastic wrapper around it, and we'll go ahead and peel that off best we can. Okay, and here is the pad itself. Now the base is very like, it reminds me a lot of the X-ray pad rubber base. It's kind of like that standard rubber base you see a lot of OEMs use nowadays. Pretty normal stuff here, nothing really to write home about here, so just a rubber based material as expected. And flipping the mouse pad over, so here we have the surface here. So then we have a little Endorfy logo on the corner here. The surface stitching is actually, so here's one thing I'm admittedly a little concerned about. The surface stitching is a different stitching than the fabric itself on the surface. Obviously you can't Kadura stitch the side, but that is one aspect to it, so may feel a little jarring. And this is kind of the side stitching is kind of loose. Like when I run my finger along it, I can feel it move, and it's kind of rough against my hands. So that may be an issue area if you're running your arm along the side of the pad, because this feels very rough. Sorry, my camera's like having an aneurysm. I apologize. This feels very rough, but this feels very smooth, which is a bit of an odd thing. I'm wondering why they went with this material for the side. I mean, regardless, it is what it is. Okay, so the surface of the pad itself, though, is actually very smooth. It has that, like, kind of, the best way I can describe how a Kadura material feels is it feels like a rain jacket. It's like a more denser rain jacket kind of feeling to it, but it actually isn't too abrasive, which is nice to see. Unfortunately, though, the pad isn't sitting flat out of the box. As you can see, there's a lot of, kind of like not flatness to it, which is something I definitely don't like. This is very common for rubber bases though, so this is kind of something I expected. In terms of the surface stitching, give me 1 second. Let me grab my trusty little microscope here. So that is the surface stitching for the pad there. So definitely a bit of an interesting stitch. It's kind of like an angled standard stitch we commonly see, but it's a little angled towards the, like a little bit, like it leans a little upright on the pad surface. It could also be the angling of my, could be the angling as well, but definitely an interesting surface stitching. Again, Kudora is a very unique material, so it has some quirks to it, but definitely a very, a balanced surface stitching, I would say. Like, this is going to be pretty balanced on all axes, which is something I like to see. So that is definitely a nice attention to detail there. And in terms of how it feels, so okay, so the problem I'm having is that the pad isn't flat, and whenever the mouse runs over the flattened side, the Kudora material makes contact with the mouse's base, is making this like loud scratching sound. Okay, yeah, that's definitely annoying. Okay, so this would be one thing. I definitely think a pad like this should be flat packed, especially if it has a rubber base, because rubber bases like to hold on to their hold on to how they've been folded for a long time. And if your pad's been sitting in like a warehouse for a couple months, it's gonna have this like rolled aspect to it that's gonna take a while for it to buff out, which is really unfortunate. I don't know if you can reverse roll this pad. I'm going to assume not, so I'm not going to do it in case I damage it, but that is definitely something. I mean, yeah, that's just rubber bases. That's just kind of how it goes. I definitely think it should be flat packed or packaged in a, sorry, excuse me, or packaged in like a wider packaging, because then that way it won't have this like kind of roll to it. But I mean, it is what it is. But if it's sitting flat, it's definitely a very speed optimized surface. I think, okay, so my problem is, okay, here's my problem. If I put my hand on the mouse, my hand is so heavy, these little like see this little ridge right here and right here, this is actually scraping against the pad surface. It's actually making like a scraping sound because the skates aren't big enough, which I'm definitely not a fan of, because that means on even like on fabric pads that are much softer, this is going to make contact with the pad surface, which is a big issue. So that is something very concerning. I'm not really sure. That's the thing. I don't even know what I can do about that, because if it's making contact with the surface of the pad, and this is like this pad has no flexing to it. This is a firm pad. And if it's making contact with, like, if these are making contact and scratching the pad surface, this thing's going to be a scratchy mess on other kinds of pad types, which is definitely an issue. Yeah, these stock skates are definitely a bit of a miss in my opinion. I'm going to have to, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and let me grab some other skates, and I'm going to take off these stocks. I'm going to put on other ones and see if I can put on skates that balance this out, because it feels really scratchy. 1 second. Yeah, I don't know why they made the skates so small. I actually have no idea. That's a very questionable decision. Like, honestly, the skates being so small and this are very questionable design decisions on my part. Those are definitely going to be issue areas, I can tell already. Honestly, I was not expecting to have issues with it, like issues with the skates already, but I mean, here we are. And of course, these skates are going to peel as well. Yeah, of course they did. Why wouldn't they? See, this is, yeah, this is how you can tell that skates are really cheap and really bad. See what happens? This is how you can tell your stock skates, like a company cheaped out on stock skates. See how they have this like adhesive that's just left behind like this? That's how you know the skates are cheap. Damn, that's a real shame. Okay, I'm gonna have to get like an alcohol wipe and try and wipe this stuff off. Give me a minute. I was really hoping I could just take the skates off in one piece, but apparently not. Yeah, as I said earlier, these skates definitely need some changes for sure. The skates are probably the weakest part of the mouse right now, in my opinion. I think that's like the biggest issue. I mean, the weight is definitely not great. I'm definitely not overlooking that, but the skates are, yeesh. Skates are a bit of a mess. Yeah, well, unfortunately, this adhesive material does not want to come off, so I may have to live with it for today. Because I'm not going to fight with this for like 30 minutes to get this material off. Okay, well, I'm going to have to live with it for now, I think. Yeah, see, that's the thing I hate about companies when they cheap out on skates. Like, cheap skates are not only they not only don't perform very well, they're also a nightmare to remove. That's like so annoying because there's so much extra work for the consumer to have to go through when they have to replace the skates. Like if you cheap out the skates, you're gonna have to replace them, and like having the customer have to deal with that is really annoying. That's why you don't cheap. If you ever chat, that's why if you ever make a mouse, never cheap out on skates. Never cheap out on skates. Ever. Alright, hold on. Let me just throw this away so I'm not huffing this 1 second. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Mark? Will there be a review assembly of Pulsar 10s? Unfortunately, no. I was not able to get one. I honestly was really hoping I was going to be able to get one, but I have not been able to get a single unit, unfortunately. And they sold out near instantly, and Pulsar was not able to give me one, so unfortunately, no Pulsar 10s. I was really hoping to cover it, but it's just, I'm not going to fork, like, because with tariffs and stuff now, I'm not forking out $400 for a mouse. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if Pulsar will send me one, I'll totally cover it, but I'm not about to fork out $400 to cover that mouse. Like, again, like, I don't get me wrong, I'm interested in covering it, but it's basically like a midline between an X2H and an X2V2, and like, I've covered both of those mice already. So, yeah, just, it's like, and that's the thing too, chat, like, I mean, I don't mean to be overly critical, but like, Pulsar was, how do I say this? They were very selective with who they sent the mouse to for good reason. Which is very unfortunate. So just I was not on that list because I'm not cool enough. But no, that's a lie. Pulsar said I was cool enough to get a unit. They just didn't have any stock, which again is nothing against them. It happens. But yeah, yeah, getting the mouse retails for like $200, and then plus import fees and tariffs to Canada. It's going to be ridiculously expensive. And like I was going to get one from like one of zero up here, but they unfortunately sold out almost instantly. So I wasn't even able to get one from them. So it is what it is. What it is. I wanted to cover it. I'll have to cover it at a later date. Whenever I can get my hands, like if I can find a Canadian retailer who's going to carry it. Like if Potent Gaming ends up carrying one, I'll grab one from them. But as of right now, it's not really on the agenda. Yeah, exactly. Pulsar was very selective with who they sent the mouse to, and they sent it to a lot of non-mouse reviewers, which again, I get it. I totally understand why. Again, like it's nothing against them. I have nothing against them for doing that because their product is aimed at consumers, and like the Tens mouse is supposed to be a consumer grade mouse. So like I have like again, you do you. I have no problem with that. Is it disappointing? Absolutely. But it is what it is. And again, like I'm on good terms with Pulsar. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, they're just like I'm not gonna say they're doing anything bad. They're just doing a business decision. Again, it's their call. I respect it. Sucks. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, Chad, don't get me started on that Score Esports video. I don't even want to go there, Chad. I don't even want to go there. I have some, here's the thing. I have no problem with Pulsar sending the mouse to who they want to. They are welcome to do that. I hate when a company sends a very anticipated mouse to a bunch of goober channels who don't know what they're talking about. That drives me nuts. And like that's why I'm so frustrated with the 10 situation, because like again, I'm not saying that I'm like the be all end all reviewer, but it really sucks to see like people like not review things properly. It bugs me. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Again, it's just it's a business thing from Pulsar. I get why they did it. It's a consumer grade mouse. It's supposed to sell to consumers. They don't want reviewers to cover it. I totally understand it. It sucks. Oh yeah, well it's a tens mouse. Of course everyone's gonna ride it like crazy. That's like a given. But anyways, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. It's a frustrating situation, but like anyways, but in all honesty, like here's the thing, chat. Even if I was to get the tens mouse, still have such a backlog I wouldn't be able to cover for several months. So like in all honesty, like I didn't get it. It is what it is. I have other things I want to cover anyways, and it just would have been another mouse I wouldn't have had time to cover. So I'm okay not getting it. Maybe in the future I'll cover it, but for now I'm just, it is what it is. What's the size and shape of this? It isn't on Elo shapes. Oh, that's a good question. Give me 1 second. Let me check. It should list it somewhere. Hold on. Let me check, chat. Let me see here. Do we have dimensional specs anywhere? We don't. We have no dimensional specs. That's very odd. I didn't even notice that. Good catch. Interesting. Okay, yeah, no dimensional specs. Is it on the website? Okay, yeah, if it's on the website, check there. It's a fairly like averagely sized mouse, I'd say though. Like nothing, like nothing really like unique about it in terms of shape, I'd say. Make sure I get this right. Okay, that should be good. Okay, anyway, sorry, I need to do this. To quickly answer your question, yeah, it's for the best. Yeah, it is what it is. I mentioned you used the X2H, X2V2 before. I saw you made a T-Evolution video last time. How's the difference between the Ratio and FE optical switches? Oh, the FE optical switches are goated. They're way better. Don't get, like, I love the Pulsar X2H shape specifically. Don't get me wrong, I love that mouse. The Ratio opticals are so heavy and they feel terrible. Like they're easily like probably one of the worst switches I've used in a long time. They're not bad, but like compared to like an FE optical or an Omron switch, they feel terrible. The FE opticals are like light years better. In all honesty, the FE opticals might be my favorite switch of the year so far. They are significantly better than pretty much everything else on the market. Yo, whoa, holy shit. Thank you so much for the Quar 25. I actually don't know what currency that is, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. W super chat. Length of 126.39. Okay, gotcha. Fairly standard then. Lamzu Inca is fairly similar to the Tens mouse. Probably feels the same almost. Yeah, I assume so. I just realized I forgot to take out the skate ring. Oops. Watch as the skate ring just like absolutely. Bro, for fuck's sake, are you serious? Come on. Come on. God damn it. Anyways. That's Qatari. What currency is that? I actually don't even know where that's from. Oh wait, is it from Qatar? That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? But hey, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Anyways, okay, well this is annoying. I'm gonna have to peel this off now. I'm just gonna make a timestamp in this chat and just go over like they're like, hey, this is the 30-minute segment of this video where we just spent all this time removing skates. Qatar, yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Come on. Totally agree with you on FE switches. Total night and day. I hope Pulsar and Alpha brands will adopt them. I'm surprised to go to toe to the KLGM V2s. Yeah, they're honestly really good. Like I personally speaking, Omrons have been my favorite switch like to date. But the FE opticals are like they're very close. Like I still do think Omrons are better long term. At least because like we haven't seen FEs actually like work long term, so we don't know how their operating life is, but you know. Come on, man. Okay. Honestly, okay, biggest gripe with this mouse so far, these stock skates are an abomination. Holy. They're a nightmare. Good lord. Okay, well, okay, stock skates are definitely a issue area, but that is what it is. Why do people love dot skates? What's the difference between dot and normal dot skates? So basically, the TLDR quick thing about dot skates is that dot skates allow you a lot more flexibility with where you install them. So for example, this mouse, if you use the full-size skates, these little sections here, I'll zoom in for you, these little sections here scrape on the mouse. So being able to throw on dot skates to prevent that is a really nice attention to detail. And also dot skates are balanced in terms of their surface area and directionalism, so they don't have that weird shaping as full-size skates, and they're also faster. So it gives you a more balanced experience where if you're on a pad, where basically allows you to have like balanced axis movements and there's like equal frictions on all axes. That's pretty much what it does. How does the mouse feel dense? The mouse feels okay. I talked about build quality and QC earlier in the video, but it feels pretty good in all honesty. I definitely do think it should have just been a solid shell mouse, but I mean, it's not bad. Anyways, okay, so in terms of skates, now that I got off these god-awful skates, so I did put, so it turns out that you can put dot skates on these little like areas here, and with the skates on there, you can move it around. Yo, another, hey, thank you so much again. I appreciate it, Lenzo. Welcome, you're welcome. Give your cat some pets. I will go get the cat. I'll tell you what, I will go get Alphonse and I'll give him pets right now. All right, I will go fetch Alphonse with a super chat. Give me 1 second. Alphonse, come here. I woke him up from his nap. You okay, boy? Here you go. Alphonse, say hello to everybody. Say hello. I have to give you pets. Here, I'll give him paw pets. He hates these. Here. Come on. Come on. That's another nice thing, because the Condura surface is super resistant. Everything is resistant to cat hair, which is nice. Alphonse has this thing where he likes to stare into my light. So he's currently staring into here. I'll move this for a second. He's currently staring into my face cam. Hi, boy. Hi. Say hello to chat. No? he's not the smartest. No, that's okay, boy. I know I woke you up. I'm sorry. I know I woke you up. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Hey, he scratched the pad. The pad wasn't damaged. Wait, hold on. Alphonse, scoop, boy. Wait, was the pad damaged? Hey, the pad's resistant to cats. Let's go. That's sweet. Alphonse, come on, boy. Come here. Come say hello. Come here. He's very interested in the mouse. Alphonse. Okay, well, he's gonna do his thing. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna put him down. Come here, boy. The pets have been given. Okay, that's actually really cool. So he scratched the pad, but the pad didn't have any. There was no scratch marks on it, and he is extremely sharp right now. So that's actually a nice thing to see. That's actually pretty nifty. Okay, anyways, yeah, cat resistant. Hey, that's a plus of that material. You gotta give him that. Chad, no lie. Do you know how many mouse pads Alphonse has destroyed? And between Garbage and Alphonse and Merlin, like I've lost like 4 mouse pads to them. Better get a lint roller? No, don't need one actually, because it just brushes off the material, which is really nice. Because the surface stitching is so dense, cat hair can't get into it, which is really nice. Anyways, after my long tangent talking about everything under the sun aside from this mouse, I apologize for the tangent. So with proper dot skates on and not these horrible stock skates, the pad feels much better. Much better. And again, you will need to put skates here and here to prevent this from rubbing against the bottom of the mouse. I would highly advise Endorfy to make these like a U skate, or like maybe just like cut this part off and make the skate a little bigger and reduce the height of this area specifically, because it scratches against pads. But it actually feels pretty good. Again, these are more like control focus skates, but it actually feels pretty good on this pad, all things considered. which is pretty nice. Yeah, overall, okay, so that's pretty much everything for the mouse pad, and then of course the mouse. Honestly, the pad I'm actually quite a big fan of. I actually do like the pad. My only gripe with it is that the rubber base is very force dependent, so like you can see I can move it around very easily unless there's like something heavy on top of it, which is like a common issue for like every single mouse pad. And I dislike that the side material here is a like weirdly high friction. It feels very abrasive, so when I run my arm across the pad, there's like a noticeable difference between this material and this material, which I'm definitely not a fan of because it feels very abrasive. I'll probably want to use an arm sleeve on this pad to be sure, but anyways, that's what it is there. Okay, let me go ahead and move everything back to my setup. We'll go play some games and do some testing on this, so give me 2 seconds. I will be right back. We are back now. I gotta close my closet door. We can't show the world. All right, let me just catch everything up here. Just catch up with chat. What do you think of the Infinity Mice Control V2 pad recommendation? Best mud pad on the market. Mud pads are a bit of a unique one. I don't really like mud pads. The first things that come to mind though would be probably the Aqua Control Wave. That's like one of the slowest pads I've ever tried. Zowie GSR. I wouldn't even say the Control V2 is even really like that much of a mud pad per se. Like it's actually a lot faster than I would expect. Um, I'm trying to think what else was really slow and controlled. Oh, there was that weird King Jade pad, but that's like not available anymore. I will say though, I actually do really like Infinity Mice's pads. I actually genuinely really do like their products. I do think they make great pads. Obviously I work for X-Ray Pads, so I can't talk too much about all that stuff, but like previously, like one of my favorite brands was Infinity Mice when it came to mouse pads. I just realized my music is still like super loud. You guys probably can't hear anything. What a concept, imagine. Yeah, anyways, gonna have to head out. Take care. Oh, thank you very much, Len. So I apologize for missing it. Thank you again for your donations. That was very kind. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Andy? Not much. Just talking about the Endorfy Live Plus today. It's like it's all right. There are definitely some concerns I have, but it's not terrible. Could be better, obviously, but not the worst. Let me go ahead and find the Live Plus software. Also, shameless self-plug, chat. If you guys don't know, you can become a channel member here on YouTube for only $2 a month, and you get early access to videos and a cool melon badge next to your name, and it also directly supports everything I do here on the channel. So if you want to support what I do here on the channel, you can become a channel member here. But again, not necessary, just something I offer for everyone as well. Okay, let me find... Oh my god, they have a lot of mice. Live Plus? Is it? Chat, is this the Live Plus? Hold on. I forgot what mouse I have. 1 second. Yeah, Live Plus. Hey, what's up, Sil? How you doing today? What's going on? Yeah, no, I was going to say no updates with the PC right now, unfortunately. Fingers crossed soon, hopefully. Also, I don't want my camera. It makes me look like a literal salmon right now, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, let me find the software here. We'll talk about the software next. The Plus Wireless. I wasn't sure if it was the Live or the Plus. I couldn't remember. Okay, let me just download this, start this, install this. Dude, are working this morning? Oh, that's why you're working. How's work today? Hopefully it's quiet. I love using worn out mousepad. Brand new mousepad feels terrible. You like the worn feeling, eh? Huh. Do you like the worn... Okay, do you like the worn feeling of the mousepad in terms of its, like, actual surface feel? Like, you like it feeling smooth? Or do you like that, like, that kind of gritty or, like, more controlled feeling? Because I know people have a preference that a lot of times. Sometimes they like one, sometimes they like the other. So it kind of depends. Okay, so here is the software. Give me 1 second, chat. I'm just going to... How do I do this? Legacy... Let's do this. 1 second, chat. I'm just going to quickly... See if I can get this to work. The muddier the goat. Honestly, the muddiest pad I've used to date is in all honesty probably the Aqua Control Wave. Like, no bias because I work for them or anything like that. Like, that is genuinely the like the most controlled one I've used. Let me just make sure I'm not leaking anything here. No, we're good. Okay, I can do full. I can do capture. What do you think about the QCK performance? I plan on getting one available in my country. I actually haven't used any of the new QCK pads. I heard they're good because they're basically just like what any other big brand would make nowadays, just made for like a consumer, like consumers. Nothing. I've heard good things about them, but I can't really speak to their performance, unfortunately. Okay, so in terms of software, hopefully I'm not leaking anything on my desktop. No, I think we're good. Okay, in terms of software here, so pretty basic thing. One thing you should immediately change though right away. This thing has a 12 millisecond debounce. Drop that down. Gaming mouse is not disconnected. Okay, that's a fun bug. Okay, hold on. My mouse is clearly connected, but it's bugging out. Now let me try and repair this. Okay, hold on. Let me just like plug the mouse in and see if that fixes it. So it just doesn't work wired. Okay, this is concerning. Oh wait, chat, I have the wrong software. This is for the wrong mouse. Hold on, wait. I think I have the wrong software. This is the wrong mouse on the screen here. Chat? What's happening? Why is it not working? Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Pause. Hold on. Okay, this is awkward. Can you guys hear me still? Okay, so it is frozen. Well, this is awkward. Okay, all my USB devices are cooked. Well, this is fun. I've never seen this happen before. That's crazy. Okay, so good to know that if you use the wrong software, it just like literally breaks everything. How does that even happen? Like, how does that even happen? How does that happen? Chat, everything's bricked. Nothing works. Literally nothing works. What the fuck? There's no way, man. There's no way. Hold on. There's no shot. Hold on, chat. I gotta. There is no way. There is no way. This has just bricked everything. I clicked the Live Plus. I clicked the right software too. It just like it's the wrong software. That's the Lix Plus. You have the Live. It said Live Plus on the page. Oh, that's so tilting. How do I fix this, chat? Yeah, all of my USB devices are cooked. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, that's so tilting. Wow. Okay. Don't know what to do. Okay, chat. I'll be right back. If the stream crashes, I will try and reconnect it. Hopefully. I'll be right back, I guess. Okay, I think we're back. Hold on. Can everyone here? Oh my god. Okay, can't say I've ever seen that happen before. That is a first. I have never seen a mouse software just... I've never seen that. I'm going to be positive about this as much as I can. To be fair, it's my bad for apparently downloading the wrong one, but like I swear I clicked on the right thing. Hold on. I actually want to see just... Yeah, it was the right one. Okay, I did. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Plus wireless. Yeah, I've used a lot of mice before, and I've downloaded the wrong software for mice before. I have never seen the software just brick an entire... I've never seen that in my life. Like, my keyboard stopped working. Like, it's just every single USB device just got cooked. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's really funny. I've never seen that before in my life. Okay, all right. Hey, Endorfy. Okay, Endorfy. Okay. I'm just gonna be positive about this. Okay, if I'm on your website and I scroll down to the bottom and I click downloads, I expect the software to be here. I do not expect pictures and description. I expect the manual should go here. The software should be here. Like, the software link should be here, because now I'm stuck trying to find the software where I already apparently downloaded the wrong one, even though it said Live Plus. So the software should absolutely be here, because that's a big problem. What mechanical keyboard is that? This is the Bridge 75. I reviewed it a couple weeks ago. It's been my main work editing board ever since. I love this board. It's so good. It's a great board. Okay, let's try this again. Manual software. Page is not working. Chat, I'm clicking the page. Oh no, it worked. It worked. Wait, hold on. Sorry, chat, 1 second. Okay, wait, I did fuck up. Okay, no, hold on. It's my fault. I did download the Lix Plus instead of the Live Plus. That's my fault. That's my fault. But still, that's a pretty confusing software experience there. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, chat, it wouldn't be a melon stream without some like ridiculous like... It wouldn't be a melon stream without some like ridiculous like tech problems. Okay, let's be honest. Okay. Back to monitor capture. Ta-da! Okay, cool. All right, let me go back to this. Okay, great. Okay, all right. So let's talk about software next. Now that I actually have the proper one and I don't nuke my PC. This is, again, 100% my bad, but still. Okay. So software layout here is actually pretty reminiscent of some other mice I've seen before. So first tab we have profiles. The mouse does support 4. It does not show a battery like life indicator, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. And then now the debounce timing is set to 0, which I'm assuming it was probably defaulted to 8. I'm just going to put this to 2 for now. There is rebind options here, but is there an option to change the profile? Switch, disable, combo key, fire rate, mouse button, pulling rate, switch, middle button. Okay, so there is no option to change profile, which is a little disappointing. Generally, one of the biggest advantages to these buttons, if you use multiple profiles, you can swap the profiles with a click of the button and then tie them to an RGB level. But unfortunately, that has not been done here, so that is something I would like to see them change as well. In terms of DPI stages, mouse does support 6. We're going to drop this down to 1, and we're going to use 1600. Why is my keyboard not working now? Alright, we'll just manually adjust this to 1600. The polling rate defaulted to 500 hertz, which is definitely odd, but that's fine. We have 1000 hertz here. Now, the mouse is capped to 1000 hertz on both wired and wireless, so it does not have any kind of high polling rate, which is disappointing, but I assume in a new version we'll see that. It does support ripple, angle snapping, and motion sync, but I'm going to turn those all off for now. We'll put DPI to 2. We'll set this to steady. You can actually make the lights of this thing pretty bright, as you can see here, which is actually kind of cool. So at least that's nice. You can change the color here. Now, does this change anything on the mouse itself? It does. Okay, so the DPI indicator here in the middle corresponds to the light on the actual scroll wheel there as well, which I mean, it's admittedly a little nice attention to detail. We have a macro editor, and then of course a lighting profile here. Let me just do to. Can I do single color static? Let me just put this to pink as well. Okay, that matches that. Light dormancy time. You can turn off the lighting. That's for battery saver. That's nice to see. Pairing tool, long distance mode. Oh, this is the, you know what software this is, Chad? This is the same software T-Volution and Fantech uses. The exact same software base. So that's actually nice to see. Gives you firmware information there. There is no update here inside the mouse, but I mean, that's pretty standard here. So nothing too crazy here. Okay, overall a pretty like standard experience here. Definitely could be improved in some areas, but it's not the worst implementation I've ever seen. Again, I don't know why the polling rate was set to 500 hertz by default. That's kind of odd, but I mean it is what it is. But anyways, that's okay. We were able to fix all that, so that is all done. So that's all for that. Okay. And now there we go. That's better. Okay, cool. Let me do this. Configure video. We gotta fix this now as well. Okay, cool. Alright. Awesome. Okay, well, there you go. How long have we been live? Like, what, two hours? Now, after 2 hours of shenanigans, we can test the mouse. Woo! Oh, my God. I mean, okay, that is my bad. I did download the wrong software, but the fact that I downloaded the wrong software and it, like, nuked my USB devices is very concerning. That is definitely something that should be adjusted, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and actually do something and play some games. You already know what we're doing. 1 hour? Oh, yeah, okay, it feels a little longer than that. That's one thing about streaming, chat. You kind of lose your sense of time when you're doing this stuff. You're like, I don't even know what you kind of lose your the basis, you know what I mean? Let's do some let's do some RoboQuest, chat. Let's do some RoboQuest. I think RoboQuest would be a good game for testing this, I think. Alright, so yeah, so here we got the whole setup. So here's the Kodora Speed L, and then we also got the mouse with the red obsidians on it, obviously, because I am not using those stock skates. Because I value my sanity. I will say, even with like faster skates, this pad is so fast. It's actually insane how fast this pad is. Yeah, still knows I've been like cripplingly addicted to RoboQuest for like the past like 3 weeks. Not gonna lie, this game is also really fun though. No lie. It's fun. I'm low on game. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I've been looking for something fun to play, but this has actually been like really fun and enjoyable. I'm trying to think of like what kind of skates you would want to use on a Kadura pad like this, because like it's so fast. I don't even know like what kind of skates you'd want to use. Copy the Singulator by Texas First Glass Pad. What skates do you recommend? Either the Obsidian Air, again, no bias because I work for X-Ray Pad, but these are the best ones I've seen on the market. Either the X-Ray Pad Obsidian Airs if you want a more balanced experience, or the Obsidian Air Pros if you want a more controlled experience. Those are like my two like go-to skates. FPS is so dead right now. Yeah, we're down tremendous right now. Everyone's like, oh, go play Overwatch Stadium. I'm like, I'd rather like self-trepanate my head. Like, there's a long list of things I'd rather do than play that. Obsidian, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, so you can do dots or donuts. Dots will be faster, or donuts if you want a little more control, but it's like, yeah, it's completely up to personal preference. Personally speaking, the donuts are my personal favorite, but they do, you have to keep in mind that the donuts do have some size compatibility because they're so big, so they're not usable on all mice. Dots are much more compatible. I mean, chat. You know, gaming is in a bad state when people actually think Marvel Rivals is a good game. Like, we're cooked when that happens. Play Marathon. Okay, actually, no lie, chat. No lie. I actually do want to play Marathon. Marathon actually looks really fun. I do like the idea of Marathon. I am turning that dog shit KBN aim assist off immediately, but the game actually looks really fun. I actually do want to play it. I think I'm dead to this guy just because he hit me with this skill shot. I think we're good. But yeah, no, I do want to play Marathon. I was gonna say, Chad, the long-awaited PC upgrade might finally be happening now, so like I actually may be able to play all these games. Like, I want to play through Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages. Obviously, we're gonna play on. Like, we're obviously playing that. There's no question about that. What else do I want to play? I want to play. You can turn it off, but don't get mad when everyone else is using it on you. That's the thing. Like that's the problem I don't like about it. I'm just like, I just don't want to have to deal with it. But yeah, there's a lot of games I want to play and I haven't had a chance to play yet. But we will hopefully be playing those soon. Hopefully. Ideally, if the border would stop fucking up fucking up the order, it would have been here already. But bro, literally magnetized me into him. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. FPS scene's so bad I caught myself playing Farlight 84. Man, that's a game I haven't heard of in a long time. Wow, Fairlight 84. Damn, that is like a throwback to COVID. I forgot that game even existed. No, okay, no lie, chat. I was actually so down bad for something to play the other day. I was debating playing fucking Combat Master with like that Warzone remake. I was actually debating playing that. No lie. But then RoboQuest, I'm like, oh yeah, I just have RoboQuest. Why would I have to play anything else, you know? Tariffs, yeah. No, it's not even tariffs. It's just the company who's sending me the parts is just, like, trolling. Like, okay, correction. They're not trolling. They're trying. It's their logistics department that is just, like, tossing the bag unimaginably. But hey, apparently next week, chat, which is what I've heard for the past 3 months, so hey, you never know. But yeah, but apparently it's gonna it should be happening soon. So I'm hoping we'll have like the whole PC upgrade and shit happening really soon. But we'll see if it even happens. There is something over here. I knew there was something over here. I need to find the legendary version of this weapon that has the piercing. That's what I gotta find. I gotta find the piercing one. I love how the bonus bot's like triggered from that far away. I was gonna be really upset if that guy still hit me somehow. If you like, actually, you try a Void Breaker. They have a free playtest. Ooh, I'll try. Is it like FPS roguelike, right? I may actually try that out. I know that everyone was saying to try out what was the other one, chat? Gunfire Reborn or something like that. Everyone was saying to try Gunfire. I think Pengu plays that, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, see you around still. Have a good one. Have a good day at work. I will say, tracking these things is actually really fun. Taking increased fire rate. Let's do that. I think it's a better option here. Are you kidding me? The exit was all the way over here. You gotta be kidding me. There's no way. That's what I hate. It's one thing I really hate about this map layout in particular. GPU heavy right now, made by one guy, so you might have to build your new PC. Ah, okay, yeah, my PC, my PC barely holds on when I stream, let alone anything else. But like, I want to do like multicasting when I get the new PC as well. So like, I want to stream on like both Twitch and YouTube. And like, ideally, I should have the new PC ready before the Splitgate 2 playtest starts. So like, we will be grinding Splitgate 2 pretty hard on stream, which will be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. We'll do the marking projectile. It seemed pretty good for this. I swear, I forgot this beam does damage depending on how close you are to something. I always forget that about this thing. I will say, we seem to be kind of under-leveled right now, which is very odd, considering we shouldn't be. Please die. I hate the shield ones so much. They're so annoying. What gun is this? Ice gun? That actually would be low-key worth it. Anything good here? Melee bash damage. Doesn't care about that. Nope, nothing here. Okay, cool. By the way, chat, remember when I mentioned earlier that this mouse was going to feel a little like more bottom and control heavy? I was totally right. The lower center position does make it feel very controlled. Oh my god, we are going to just chunk this thing. Elemental damage is fun, chat. Hey, flawless boss. We take that, chat. We take that. We take that all day. I will say, I definitely feel like this is probably one of the fastest fabric pads I think I've used today. I think there was one fabric pad that was close to this speed, but I can't remember what it was called. It was some like niche one. Sure. Don't care about that. Sure, do that. I think it was like, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, I'm thinking the MPET Speed M, chat. But that was a plastic pad. I guess it's not really the same thing. Yeah, but like this pad reminds me of the MPET Speed M a lot. Just not made of plastic. It's just like fabric. Salt shaker. Is salt shaker like a goated item, or is it like... Oh, please, 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 please. I just lost it because of the fucking hack. That is one of the most annoying things in this game when you get like one frame hacked by an enemy you can't even see. Extra pad is going to keep producing the Trigon Couture? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that pad's been discontinued for a while. It may, you never know. It may come back in the future, but as of right now, we're working on other stuff. I was gonna say though, now that I'm trying this pad though, I definitely would be more interested in trying out X-ray pad's implementation. Goated mark there. That was actually great. Are you serious? My shield ran out the millisecond that ended. Oh, I like this one. This one's way better. Can I? I'm not saying that. I'm not falling into the meme. Ain't no way. Chat, if we win this game, I'll say it, all right? If we win this game, I'll say the line. How about that? Yeah, this one's way better than my other one. Who is shooting me? Am I? Holy. Yeah, this one's pretty good, chat. Are you no? I'm an idiot. I didn't realize my HP was that low. Oh, I'm terrible, chat. That's a throw of the century right there. I literally have an immunity shield, and I just died to that. That actually would have been such a good run if I didn't throw that, no lie. It's okay, we'll get another junk beam. We'll get another junk beam run. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty I'm pretty sure it's like not being produced. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I was gonna say maybe I should ask for a Trigun just to try it out. Yes, Fricker's back. Not me tryharding in this Robocross run so I don't just die like an idiot like I did last time. I was gonna say I feel like myself like tensing on the mouse really hard, which like is kind of uncomfortable, but I think it's just because it's so oh, you know what, chat? Let's do this. Let's go for a little bit of a zany run this time. Never mind. We found our win condition. Just kidding. Good God. What is hitting me? That took an embarrassing amount of damage. Holy crap. That hurt. I don't know why I picked up the Ninja Stars and put away the Deagle, because, like, the Deagle's is way better. See, Jay, the thing is, you gotta get the legendary katanas to have the right click that gives you the, you gotta get the legendary ones that gives you the right click, gives you, like, the arrows. That's, like, the really good one. Really annoyed I got hit by that still, but I mean, it is what it is. This game reminds me of Ultra Kill. Yeah, very much like Ultra Kill. It's very inspired by that. It's like a mix of Borderlands and Ultra Kill. But with like Tony Hawk Pro Skater movement. I love how like these Ninja Stars just like tickled them from long range. That's another game I need to play. I need to play Ultra Kill. I heard really good things about Ultra Kill. We'll do that more for now. Honestly, I really don't like this robot, like this bot. Like, I much prefer the Commando bot. Like, I feel like this one's just so boring. Okay, I'm super glad I had a shield there. That literally could have been instant death there, no lie. Wow, you do a lot of damage. I don't know why this match is like, this was like, I don't know why I'm like tryharding so hard for this one, but it's like, this game is actually being difficult today. Yeah, I gotta get my hand. I gotta try Ultra Kill. It's on my list for sure. I gotta play that. See, that's the thing. I gotta get myself burnt out of RoboQuest first, and then I'll play that. Like I gotta like go through. All right, easy boss fight. Focusing on chat instead of gameplay is really hard. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, it's a delicate balance. That's why I'm like kind of scared to multi-stream because like I already have such a short attention span. My dumbass will be like, we'll just ignore a chat. I find though it's a lot harder when you're learning a new once you like when I was like how do I say this? When I was back in my Splitgate days, like I could play the game on autopilot and like not have to like really think about like what I was doing, and I could like read chat really easily. But like when I'm playing new games or games I'm not like 100% like focused on, it's hard to like remember. It's hard. It's not that it's hard to remember to pay attention to chat, but it's hard to like balance your attention between the two because you like, especially this game, if you look away for like a second, you get like ripped by some bot and just like taken across the map and just screwed. Which out of context sounds very bad, and I swear I didn't mean it to sound like that. Chat, you think there's anything hidden up here? Nope. Nothing hidden. What do we got here? Let's take that for our secondary for now. I think that's probably a little better. Ultra Kill is the same. Yeah, exactly. Like, you look away for a second at Ultra Kill and you're just dead. Like... That's why I gotta find some games that have like a good like on and off kind of balance, but like it's hard to find games like that that are fun to watch. Like Splitgate will be really good for that because like I'm very much used to Splitgate, so like honestly, chat, the Splitgate streams are about to go like crazy. Like none of you here like okay. So for those of you who don't know, before I reviewed Peripherals, I actually used to stream, and one of the games I used to stream a lot was Splitgate, and that's like during COVID. That was like what I did. I was a streamer. A pretty bad one, to be honest with y'all. But like, I was a streamer, so you all weren't there for the Melon Splitgate streams. But like, we will be degen grinding. Like, it will be bad. We will have like, I will literally probably stop reviewing for like 2 weeks when Splitgate 2 comes out, just because I'll be grinding so much. And that sounds bad. Like, I won't see the sun for a couple weeks. Unless the game sucks. In that case, it'll be a temporarily, won't see the sun for like a day, and then I won't care, but... That is terrifying. You have a lot of HP. UH is the slowest skate compared to other options. Yes, UHWMP skates are the slowest. Technically speaking, the slowest, like, okay, how should I say this? They're the slowest on glass. They're not recommended for use on fabric, but they are, like, the most controlled. Aside from that, the second closest would be Obsidian Donuts. Actually, I was, you know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that. I was actually just talking to X-Ray Pat yesterday about some potential new products that we're going to be releasing. I've been giving them some ideas on some stuff. They're already working on one of them, but I gave them another one yesterday that you may be seeing sooner rather than later, actually, apparently. So maybe some more stuff coming. Reduce armor, take 100% critical chicken. That seems really good. Yeah, but I was gonna say UHWMP skates are the slowest, but again, they're only usable on you can only use them on glass. They're not recommended for fabric use. What is this? This is... That looks kind of fun. Let's try this. Taking down an enemy, critical... Let's do this. Energy weapon damage by 10. That's actually crazy for us. Okay, let's do Okay, I will say, one thing I'm noticing with this mouse is that I'm getting, like, pain in my fingers from gripping the sides of the shell. I definitely wish this mouse had a solid shell. I think this mouse would be much better if it had a solid shell, in all honesty. Like, the shape of the mouse is actually good. I actually don't mind the shape, but, like, my fingers are getting, like, ripped up by the side of the shell so much. Gotta get this shield guy before I kill this other one. Bro has 2 shields. Okay. Got it, game. That could have been instant death, not gonna lie. 2 tether bots is just like GG, chat. That's just game over right there. Okay, he flashed me after I killed him. Got it. Ah, no you don't. Not again. Oh, the UHM is Artisan Raiden. Guess when I change my pad. Well, like, okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so you can use them. The problem is that they're just, like, insanely high friction. So, like, UHWMP material has, like, it feels sticky, for lack of a better word, when used on fabric pads, specifically softer ones. So, like, I don't recommend using them just because they're, like, you'll get a lot of, like, wrist strain if you're not used to it. You can use them. It's not recommended, but, like, you can if you want to. It's just not... Like, it won't damage your pad or anything as far as I'm aware. Like, it won't... Like, I wouldn't be worried about that. It's just not the greatest experience, I guess. That is the best thing I could say about that. And, like, I like controlled skates, and it was far too controlled for me. So, like, it could very much just be a me problem, but, like, I don't know. I just found it to be too controlled. That is so satisfying to do that. Like, you can try it, Mark. Like, you can try it. Just my experience with it has not been the greatest. Just because, like, I don't like when my skates have, like, a super high amount of initial friction. So it makes it really, like, awkward to, like, start movements, if that makes sense. The stopping power is great, but, like, it's just kind of eh. What is this? That's actually kind of good, arguably. Okay, that's actually great. Okay, that perk just nullified our other thing we got. Taking down enemy, mark explosion. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Chad, there was something so satisfying about the sound of just something just getting melted. Oh, I'm an idiot. That was 77 damage I should not have taken. Something good here? Minigun? Ooh, minigun's actually tempting, not gonna lie. 20... Nah, I can't take it. Honestly, that was actually potentially a good item, but I can't change our setup right now. I feel like our setup's decent. I mean, our secondary could use some work, but I mean, that's okay. I love that with crit damage this does. I love with crit damage this does like 60 ticks a second. That's disgusting. Okay, where this run is winnable, we just need to lock in and stop taking dumb damage. We also need to kill these tiny guys as soon as possible. I almost died there. Honestly, W weapon pickup here. Honestly, that's actually like a perfect item for what we're doing here. Imagine if I died to him, I would have been so sad. Holy shit, there's so much stuff here. Comet cannon's not worth it. That is also not worth it. Man, not a lot of good items here. Excuse me. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, Chad. Excuse me. Sneezing like a horse for some reason. Not really a lot here we need, unfortunately. Oh, we have these guys too. I hate the electrical one because the electrical one, everything under the sun stuns you. It's really annoying. Like, every bot does stun damage for some reason. It's just really annoying. The fact that that guy hit me somehow makes me very angry. Bite the bullet armor to 14%. Yeah, we take this. That's literally, this armor perk is what's keeping us alive right now. As crazy as that is. Oh, that could have been very bad. Really? That stuns me, the tiniest little thing. Man, no good items. Are you serious? Alright, chat, we may be cooked here. This is a really bad one to be stuck in, because this one makes it, this one's like the hardest version of this, because everything kills you. Or sorry, everything stuns you, is what I'm trying to say. So getting out of this one alive is really hard. Unless you have really good aim. Oh, please don't stun me. Damn it. I knew it too. I was like, yeah, we're gonna get. See, like, the ice and the fire ones aren't that bad. Ice just slows you down. Fire burns you. The stun just screws you. Because, like, by the time you have enough time to do the, like, the de-stun animation, you're just dead. Which, like, sucks. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, it was actually, like, a winnable run, too, in all honesty. It's just bad damage. How'd I know this guy was alive still? I'll take Arctic Rifle, why not? I just took so much damage from something, and I'm pretty sure it was this guy. I just don't know why. Oh, that's quite literally just fists. Okay, that sucks. Increase impact by 10. Okay, let's do that. That is just death right there. Holy shit, that is not what I wanted to run into. What is this? Okay, I guess I'm never gonna find out. I think I'm finally kind of getting used to the pad speed. Again, it is very fast, but it's not like bad fast, just fast. That's what I think it is. Ah, yes, chat. It's the Soldier 76 rifle. GG. That is a GG, chat. We got the good gun. Yeah, sure. The fact that this does cryo damage is insane. Bro comes from the other side of the map to beef with me. Must be nice. What is this, shotgun? No, don't want that. Let's do fire rate. We need to get that one perk that gives us, we need to get that one perk that gives us the, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to find the one that gives us, words are hard. Gives us the, environmental damage roll. Because environmental damage roll on this thing is incredible. Are you serious? You still latch me? Okay. We also need to find a reload perk like ASAP. Please, a reload perk. No. Nope. Critical damage. There we go. That's perfect. Yeah, we got it. Okay, that's probably the GG roll for us, chat, I think. Unless I, like, colossally throw this, we should be okay. Don't worry, if there's a way to colossally throw, I will find it. What the fuck just shot a fucking artillery strike at me? And a junk beam. Oh man, the game loves me today. Let's go. See, I gotta dig into my Soldier 76 hours chat for this. guy's just stuck up here. Honestly, this level isn't bad. It's just like those beam turrets are like literally one of the most annoying things in this game. Okay, this will be a free boss. If we can get him to be frozen, that'd be great. Ideally not frozen when looking directly at me, but like, you know, just like frozen, just general. Okay, that's fine. Staggered enemies, elemental damage. Let's just do that flat elemental. The execute's like okay, but it's not as useful as it like looks like it is. Ooh, kangaroo turret's tempting. I really wish I didn't just spend all my money on that, because I would have just spent it on this instead, but that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, see, Chad, we're in a much better state this time. This is a much easier time. I love how every enemy in that area just ran at me. See, this is a loader I'm much more comfortable with, because this is just like a point and click. May have put myself into a kind of a bad position here, but it's okay. Nah, it's fine. If we had the kangaroo turret, I may have taken the summons one, but I don't think it's worth it in our case. This is such a better run. Let's do this for now, I think, yeah. See if there's anything good in here. Nope. No, thank you. Chat, look how smooth this is going. This is just like snappy. This is easy. Chat, if I toss this run, this is a generational toss. Just letting you know now. God, I hate that thing so much. Really did not want to get stunned here, but it is what it is. The reason why I like this little, like, bolt shotgun is that it has a bit of splash damage, so it makes it really easy to knock the little... No way, man. I died that fast? Bro, what is wrong with me? Okay, you know what? I genuinely think it's just the character I'm playing. Like, this character is ass. Give me a good character. I just don't like the shield character. I don't think he's very good. The shield is like situationally good, but it's just like it's way too situational. Much prefer having a literal rocket launcher. That is probably the most bullshit spawn, I think, for that I've ever seen in my life. Chat, I think we restart this one, right? I think we restart this. We got trolled with the first bot. I think we restart. Not feeling that run. Rocket damage. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I can make this work. Fuck those get hit by. That's actually a crazy shot by that thing. Wow. These are all terrible. Might as well take that just for the memes, I guess. Really no point not to. Don't know what I just took, but... I just reduced my weapon slots to 1. I'm such an idiot. No, chat, I just reduced my weapon slot to 1. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, we might have trolled a little bit, chat. That's fine. We can make it through first stage with this. This is fine. That's a literal grenade. Yeah, we don't need that. Honestly, okay, actually, us losing a weapon slot isn't, like, the worst thing in the world, because, like, we have the rocket, so it's not the end of the world, but it's still not great. You know what, let's just try this, see how this goes. Unless there's like a super good weapon here. LMG is actually potentially good. And not a lot of good stuff here, in all honesty. Please tell me that's a good gun. Is that what I think it is? No, it's dual sawed-offs. How did that still hit me? What the fuck? Oh, thank you, a real gun. Ow, that hurt. Chat, I don't know if this run's gonna go too well. We're trying to get something done here, but this is not working. That's a throw of the century to take that. As much as I want to. See, chat, like, I love the Deagle, don't get me wrong, I love the Deagle. But it's so bad compared to so many other weapons in the game. Like, if you get a gold one, it's, like, usable, but, like, most of the time if you take that over anything else, you're just, like, straight trolling. On the plus side, though, this AK does a shit ton of damage. Man, that hot potato reload actually, like, did something for once. Okay, it did something twice. Never mind, it's kind of the GOAT. You know what, maybe I've been sleeping on hot potatoes. This actually seems kind of good. Hey, what's up, Eris? This is RoboQuest. It's like it's a PvE roguelike shooter, but it's actually, like, really fun. It's literally been saving me from the great FPS drought, not gonna lie. Because, like, this game is actually, like, super fun and very aim intensive, so it's actually, like, fun to play. Because everything else kind of sucks right now. There's a free demo for the game on Steam if you're interested in playing it. But yeah, this is like the game I'm using for my new, like, if I'm testing products. If I'm not playing, like, other games, I'm probably playing this. Like, this and Kovacs will, like, make up the majority of my testing now. Fires a long-range shot, takedowns trigger an explosion. This actually seems very good. Yeah, wait, this gun's kind of goated. Did not see you. Holy shit, that guy's fucking sitting in the water. Damn, we shredded that room. Holy. Okay, this gun might be the GOAT. This might be one of the best, like, loadouts I've seen on one of these things before. This thing's crazy. Damn. Not gonna lie, this thing is so good. Why is this thing so good? Yeah, man, we take this with the gun control. Have you ever played Gunfire Reborn? I have not. I'll be honest with you, the only really roguelikes, FPS roguelikes I've used to play was Risk of Rain 2. I love Risk of Rain 2, but I got kind of bored of the game and the last update was kind of bad, so like, I'm taking a break from that game until it's fixed. So I picked this game up, which I'm really enjoying. But yeah, people told me like Gunfire Reborn was really good, and someone else mentioned another one, Ultra Kill, and there was another game as well. Someone mentioned in the chat earlier today that I have to try. Reloading, explosion, 60 damage. Let's just upgrade this, honestly. Stick with this green. Honestly, chat, if this can stick up in damage, we're kind of vibing. Like, as long as we don't get outscaled late game, we're kind of chilling. Bro, actually, Child just ran over here. That was a lucky ass shot for me. Okay, not gonna lie, chat, this may be in contention for one of the best stock floor guns I've ever seen in this game. This thing is insane. Like, this gun with an accuracy modifier is just diabolical. Like, that's just crazy. Whoa. Take that. Nothing else there is good. Bro had 1 HP. Literally 1. Annoying, I have to wait this guy out. Okay, let's see. Hot potato cooldown. Yeah, sure, I'll just do that. Might as well. Yeah, all fire cooldown's ridiculous for this. Holy. Yeah, sure. I mean, probably a waste because I had the medbot right there, but you know what? Worth it. It's fine. Holy shit, this gun is so good. Yo, this thing is just busted. I have this gun forever, please? I never want to use another gun. If I could use this gun for, like, every single run going forward, I'd be so happy. No lie. Somehow that rocket missed every single person in that circle. Don't ask me how. I couldn't tell you, but it did. That one didn't. Good lord in heaven. Yeah, the chat, this run might be over. Ow, that hurt. I say this run might be over as I almost get killed. Oh, okay, that's gonna do a shit ton of damage. Alright, let's lock in a little bit here. Because that is a ridiculous amount of damage. I hate that I took damage from that. Ooh. Yeah, this is way too good not to take. That's actually ridiculous. I will say it took me a couple like runs to get used to the Kadura pad, but like it's actually performing really well. Reload speed, yes. Yeah, take that. Thumbtack, sure. Take that. Holy fuck, why do you have so much HP? Chat, I have fought a lot of those. That is the most HP I've ever seen one of those things have. No lie. Okay, not a great start, but that's okay. I feel like there's like a invisible guy somewhere around here. I just don't know where. Yeah, not taking that again. We learned the hard way that item is not good. Okay, situationally good. It can work if you have a build for it, but we do not. That's terrifying, that guy's still alive. The reload fire boost is ridiculous. Unironically, we could actually die here really easily. Because of these guys. We just need some more defensive items and we'll be chilling. The fact that I took damage for jumping into that guy makes me kind of annoyed, not gonna lie. Okay, let's do that. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that really utilizes shock damage, so that's not a lot we can do to that. Okay, we have snow here. Okay, thank God. Our run isn't going to end prematurely like the last one did because we got the bad roll here. I really hate that that still hit me. Yeah, let's do that. That's pretty good. Chad, you think we're winning this run? There's a possibility. The one item really did kind of screw us, but I think there's a possibility for this one. Bro jumped right in front of the bullet. Love that. Oh my god, that last guy almost killed me. Holy shit, that guy did so much damage to me. Oh my god, no way. Oh, I trolled so hard. That was such a good run. There's no defensive items, man. Fuck. To be fair, this is Guardian 2, so like it is like the hardest difficulty, but still. Damn, that sucks. Okay, chat. Alright, let me wrap this up. Let me quickly go back to full screen here. Let me do this. Let me switch back to the music. I'm just going to go back to the other to the phone cam. I apologize. We'll do some final thoughts here on the products, and we'll wrap it up for the day. I'll be right back. All right, chat, can you hear me okay? Hopefully everyone can hear me all right. All right, well, overall, in kind of closing thoughts of the Endorfy products here, I will say I do think the mouse is... It's really hard to say like you should go buy this mouse because of like the way it's built, and like while it does perform well, it's lacking high polling rate. It is very heavy for what it is. Again, I still do think it should be a solid shelled mouse. It is using an older sensor. The stock side, the mouse doesn't have a coating on it. The side buttons are a little too small. I will say the main clicks actually do feel quite nice, but again, the lack of coating kind of ruins them. Scroll wheel's not as like ratchety as I would like it to be, which does kind of hurt its performance. And these stock skates are an abomination, and these two areas here scratch against softer mouse pads, which is a really big issue. So you will need to put aftermarket dots in these areas to prevent that from happening, which is a major problem because you have the potential to like damage your mouse pad if it gets stuck on like a piece of threading or something. So this is definitely a concern here for sure. So aftermarket skates will be a must. And again, this is just kind of like an OEM mouse. Like this isn't anything particularly new per se. Like a lot of other mice make very similar mice with the same charging stands. Speaking of though, I will say I really do like this, the stickiness on the bottom of the dongle. Like this is one of the best anchoring dongles I've ever used to date, and this is one thing a lot of brands do get wrong, so I do have to give them props to the dongle. The dongle is fantastic, but unfortunately for this being a 2024 release, it's just too late. If this mouse were released in like 2023, 2022, it would be a much better value offering, but in its current state, it just isn't really there. And again, this mouse would be a lot better if it was a solid shell. It would probably be lighter that way as well. And these sides are just really uncomfortable. Like you can kind of see on my finger, I have this kind of like red spot there from my finger like digging into this little spot right here, which makes it really uncomfortable to hold. So like there's a lot of aspects to this mouse that really hinder its durability, which is a shame because the mouse does perform well. It's just late compared to everything else on the market. I do really like the dongle though. That is a really cool feature. I do like this, but just I wish this was on a more updated unit with more modern specs. So the mouse is a bit of a miss for me, unfortunately. But that said though, I actually do quite like the Condura Speed. The Condura Speed L. It's definitely a bit of a unique pad. I do like the way the pad performs. My only nitpicks about the pad is that it doesn't sit completely flat out of the box because the packaging is so tight, which is a bit of an issue. The base isn't very non-stick. Like if your whole arm is on it, it doesn't go anywhere, but if you have like a very light grip, like a fingertip grip, you could potentially cause the pad to move, which I don't necessarily like. So I would have liked to see a more sticky base, like a pour-on base here. And this edge stitching material is like weirdly like high friction and very rough, which is really odd. So there is definitely like a noticeable difference in the friction because this kind of gets like very like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like, it just feels weird because the surface of the pad is so smooth. Like this is so smooth, then you have this really rough abrasive side, which if you play like if you play lower on your pad, like to here, and your wrist touches here, this is going to cause a lot of like abrasion, or like it's going to cause your skin to kind of react to the friction of this. So I definitely think it should be made of like a lower friction material, like some other kind of threading. I don't know what this threading is. It's definitely just some other kind of threading. It isn't as abrasive. But that said, this is a much better product compared to the mouse, and again, it is completely waterproof and it's very easy to clean, and it's also cat proof, as we talked about earlier in this stream, and it's also resistant to like pet hair and dust and stuff, which is a really nice thing to see. So that is a plus. Again, I just wish it just sat completely flat out of the box, because having these kind of ripples in the side is really annoying, and it's really hard to flatten out Condura, which is a bit of a disappointing aspect to this. And aside from that though, and then of course the mic, I really do like the mic. The mic is actually one of my favorite mics I've used. This is a very good mic, because again, it's very universal in how you can use it. Like it's usable on literally everything. So it's a very versatile mic, and I've been using it for several months now. So I really like the mic. I would definitely recommend checking out the mic, because it is very good. I would also recommend checking out the mouse pad, because again, it's a Condura pad. It does perform well. Again, it is very speed optimized, but it is a pretty good pad as long as you can get it to roll out. Again, the mouse, while it has some things going for it, is a bit of a miss for me, unfortunately. Hopefully in the future we'll see them make the mice a little better, maybe a little more modern specs, like a solid shell with a 3950, and some other aspects would make this, and of course, a much better base design. But we'll have to see what they do in the future. But anyways, that's going to be pretty much everything for today. All I have to talk about today. Thanks again to Endorfy for sending everything over. I really do appreciate it. The mic specifically has been a lifesaver, so thank you so much again to them. I greatly appreciate that. And that is going to be everything for today. I appreciate you guys chilling and hanging out. Thank you very much. If you enjoy what I do here on the channel, be sure to become a channel member. You get, for it's only like $2 a month, you get to see videos early and directly support what I do here. If you did miss my review of the T-Evolution Terra, that also went live earlier this week, so you can check out the Terra's review and Teardown, which are both out, and I will have a review of the Pulsar Export MS coming out next week as well, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's everything for today. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.